before we get too dark, here's a fun fact. This is the longest traffic light in New Jersey, a whopping 5 minutes and 30 seconds.
Clinton Road. Beautiful during the day, horrifying at night. These are excerpts of Weird New Jersey and Wikipedia. It's amazing that a patch of woods and a few piles of rocks right off Route 23 in West Milford could be the source of many rumors and tall tales. Where else can you find a place where Satan worshippers hide behind every tree, sacrifice goats and chickens, litter the woods like leftover barbecue, and black trucks driven by escaped lunatics chase innocent teenagers over dark, pothole-ridden roads? Where else have so many people have reported the eerie sensation of being watched by something in the woods, strange lights beating wall streaks on their cars, or hearing disembodied childish laughter emanate from a remote playground? Where else do ghostly boys in quarters and snakes alternately appear on the streets? It hasn't always had such a bad reputation. In 1905, J. Percy Crayon wrote about the woods just beyond in Clinton Furnace. It was never advisable to pass through the 5-mile woods after dark, for tradition tells us that they were infested with bands of robbers, counterfeiters, to say nothing of the witches that held their nightly dances and carousels at Green Island, and the ghosts that then made their appearance in such frightful forms that it was more terrifying to the peaceful inhabitants than wild animals or even the Indians that often passed. Gone forever is the once magnificent castle built in Newfoundland in 1907 that was a showplace in the country home of Richard James Cross. His estate consisted of 365 acres of wooded glens, fields, and farmlands, along with a 77-acre pristine water body known as Hank's Pond, known for a long time as a choice destination for local fishermen. Since the demolition of Cross Castle in 1998, signs of Satan worshipping and animal sacrifice were and still are prominent and obvious. This are one of the writings of Anton LaVey of the Church of Satan. It has been reported by many of a feeling of oppression to the point of physical pain, with one girl almost death. Tried to move her to no avail. It was like she was nailed to the rock, one witness wrote.
Never step over the boundary of the castle,
Another warned.
After a half hour, we began to hear chanting and chains rattling. One of the girls started to go into a seizure. 3 of us tried to move her with no avail. It was like she was nailed to the rock,
one witness wrote.
Never step over the boundary of the castle.
Another warned.
One of my friends did so. She became stiff and ran out of there. She said she saw something in her head, a little boy being slaughtered. My friend once again started gagging. We drove to our local diner, and I noticed a bruise across my friend's neck.
Multiple bodies have been found around the castle in Clinton Road, as this was a dumping ground for the mob. On May 14, 1983, the body of Daniel Deppernor was found when a cyclist riding down Clinton Road in a wooded area in West Milford spotted the corpse being eaten by a turkey vulture. The body had been wrapped up inside a green garbage bag before dumping. Medical examiners listed Deppernor's cause of death as undetermined, although they noted pinkish spots on his skin, a possible sign of cyanide poisoning. Richard Kalinski, a lifelong career criminal who had close ties with the mob and admitted to killing 100 to 200 people, was charged and convicted for his murder. This is one of the many documented corpses found in the area. The KKK, the Ku Klux Klan, was documented and still reported to be active as well in the location. Seeing unidentified flying objects while driving along Clinton Road seemed to be more of a commonplace than not. One couple reported seeing a huge white flash in the sky, followed by observing a flying triangular disc. Another report recounts seeing lights. Hundreds of them, he writes, on both sides of the woods, blue ones, red ones, white ones. We got so freaked out. As we went 75 miles per hour on the 35-mile-per-hour road, the lights would keep up with us. If we stopped in the middle of the road, they would stay there on each side, and suddenly they'd vanish. Of course, along with the murders, KKK ghosts and UFOs, we can't forget our cuddly creatures. Bear, snakes, coyotes are extremely common in the area. Sussex County, which parallels Clinton Road, has the highest density of black bear population in the eastern United States. But there are some animals that are a bit different. Multiple people have observed grayish-white wolf-like and red-eyed, yellowish-eyed creature roaming the perimeter. One person at Cross Castle observed the canine running, but while floating above the ground. 6 reports of Big Red Eye. North Jersey's Bigfoot has been on the run in Clinton Road as well, more than any other in the county. Big Red Eye is said to be a human-like bipedal creature that stands 7 to 9 feet tall and has reflecting red eyes. And icing on the cake, there was a zoo about 10 miles from Clinton Road, which closed down in 1976. And due to the circumstances behind the closure, locals say that the animals were released into the wild and now roam the woods near Clinton Road. And could the exotic animals, could they possibly be, such as lion or gorilla, be the cause of these unknown animal sightings? It may be possible that some animals may have survived the release. Going into ghosts, a female was driving down Clinton Road toward Route 23 in her blue 1988 Chevy Camaro. She slammed into the concrete 7-minute divider on the sharpest turn on Clinton Road and was killed instantly. It's said that a ghost Camaro, along with a girl, can be seen driving the road. An account reported by an anonymous source goes as followed: that we were camping one night around 1 a.m. and 2 park rangers noticed our fire and walked over to us. They were concerned about the fire and drinking, etc., etc. We asked if our vehicles would be okay where they were and asked if they would be ticketed. They said that they were fine and no ticketing would be carried out. The following morning, we ventured down the mountainside and approached our cars, and they had been seen with 2 summons per car. West Milford Police and Newark Watershed Authorities approached us, and we asked them about the park rangers, and they looked bewildered. We then told them that we were speaking with 2 younger men, and they said that they were okay to stay in camp. Our vehicles were okay, and we would not be fined. One of the Newark Watershed Authorities replied, "What did these park rangers look like, and what were they wearing?" We described their appearance, and the authority told us that there were no park rangers patrolling the properties anymore, and that the 2 men we saw that night were killed on patrol in 1939. We did not know what to say. Did we imagine this? Why was the authority questioning the description? Did he know that these men, they were alive? Are we the only people that have encountered these rangers? If you ever decide to travel down Clinton Road at night, stop at the bridge by Dead Man's Curve. As the story goes, if you happen to sit on the bridge and throw pennies in the river, the ghost of a young boy will draw and throw them back at you. The rumor began as a boy was challenged by his friends to stand on the bridge as they drove to Route 23 and back. Unfortunately, by the time the friends returned from driving on the highway, they found their friend dead. Dina from West Milford went out to prove or disprove this rumor.
My friends and I decided to find out for ourselves what was true and what was not. We went to the bridge and threw a quarter off. Not but a minute later, you heard a plop as if you dropped a quarter in again. The water filled with ripples and a child's reflection appeared. I flew back to the car. That scared all of us.
Clinton Road is full of wild forests, a vast reservoir, and some truly chilling tales. Just remember, if you decide to park and venture from your car, you need a hiking permit. Your car may not be there upon your return and won't be from a paranormal reason. Permits are available from the Newark Watershed Office, located at 223 Echo Lake Road, Newfoundland, New Jersey. Thank you for taking this ride, and we hope you enjoyed.